like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Alright guys, today we have some very good news for the return of Boruto and of course all the other anime out there. As of May 10th, Japan has 15,798 confirmed cases. These are facts. Now I just want to point something out. I'm going to be talking a lot about the coronavirus numbers in Japan. It's been widely reported that numbers in Japan are not accurate, mainly because the testing is just not there. Similar to what's happening in the US, where the US numbers, even though the US number is like over 1 million, it's still not accurate. But in Japan, the trends are getting a lot better, and that right there is extremely hopeful, and the Japan government thinks the same as well. The anime of Boruto was announced to be postponed on April 19th. The worst day in Japan was April 11th. They postponed it a lot later than I thought they would. Maybe that might be because Boruto had some episodes in the bank that had already been completed. That's definitely possible. But regardless, the announcement of Boruto being postponed was extremely delayed in my opinion. Now the worst day was April 11th. Specifically that day only, there were 743 new cases of coronavirus reported that day. Now comparing that to the USA, that's pretty much nothing, but let's look at May 10th in Japan, which is a couple of days ago. That day, only 51 new cases of coronavirus was actually reported. And if you guys look at this chart right here, the trend is going lower and lower and lower. Now, this right here seems to be extremely good news for Japan as a whole. And of course, extremely good news for anime returning very, very soon. And even the Prime Minister of Japan said they're debating to lift the state of emergency in Japan on May 14th. Initially, the state of emergency in Japan was supposed to end on May 31st. And now, since everything is going so well, they're debating if they should lift it on May 14th. This right here means that Japan is possibly 16 days ahead. Now, as I said before, anime returning is completely predicated about how the coronavirus is handled in Japan. So for example, if the state of emergency is lifted on May 14th and in Japan, the coronavirus makes like a surge again because everybody's going back to their regular lives and now the coronavirus is out of control again, then of course the return of anime will be pushed back and postponed even longer. But if everything goes the way the Japanese government expects it to go, where the coronavirus is pretty much calming down a lot more at this particular time and everybody goes back to work and everything is fine, then of course the return of Boruto and all the other anime will happen a lot sooner than what everybody had initially thought. And of course everybody would absolutely love to see that. Initially what people were kind of thinking is that the return of anime would possibly come mid-June. Specifically for Boruto, looking at the Sundays, that would be June 13th. Now in my opinion, I thought that was extremely optimistic. I thought that to be safe, anime would possibly return at the end of June. Specifically for Boruto, that would be June 27th. Now just to point this out, making everything extremely transparent, I stopped talking about facts as soon as I stopped talking about the coronavirus numbers in Japan. Right now it's complete speculation. These right here are just simply educated guesses. Now since Japan is ahead of schedule when dealing with the coronavirus outbreak, I think now we can possibly assume, in my opinion, that the Boruto anime can probably return on June 13th. That's thinking optimistically. Now people out there, they're probably going to say that, hey, it could possibly return June 6th or May 30th. I'm not going to say that's impossible. There is definitely a possibility that that might happen, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say we should all possibly aim for June 13th. Now specifically for the Black Clover anime, they already said there will be no episodes in the month of May. Now specifically for Boruto, they did not want to make that commitment. They didn't say that there would be no episodes in May. They didn't necessarily say that there would be no episodes mid-May or something like that. They just said that the anime of Boruto would be postponed. Now a lot of anime took this same approach as well, which definitely does leave the door open for Boruto to return in May. But again, I'm going to caution you guys to be completely optimistic. We should look for Boruto to return June 13th. But I do want to point this out, we should be hearing some sort of word about when anime should actually return. This is not just a Boruto thing. So if news comes out about Black Clover, if news comes out about any other anime out there, we can possibly look to that and compare it to Boruto, similar to how I looked to Black Clover in this instance and compared it to Boruto. But regardless, this is some very good news, not only for anime but also for the country of Japan, that the coronavirus outbreak is absolutely calming down quicker than what a lot of people had originally anticipated. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below, and give me what you guys think about when Boruto will actually return. Just to give you guys the following Sundays, next Sunday is going to be May the 16th, the following will be May the 23rd, then May the 30th. Afterwards we get into June 6th, June 13th, June 20th, and June 27th. But let me know what you guys think. It's been your boy Bar B, and we out. For the game, shorty want class, so she fought for the fame. Look at my eyes, man, I swear I won't change. Losing my mom, and I swear I can't